Okay, I'd like to introduce Ronnie McGrane, a well-known character in Kells, County Meath. Ronnie's just developed the electric car, and I've just been having a look at it earlier. Ronnie is the father of the famous golfer Damien McGrane. I'm sure people have heard of Damien. Ronnie, if you want to tell us a bit about the car, please go ahead. Tell us why you did it and how you put it together and how it works.
Yeah. Okay, Alan, good morning to you there. Well, I've always been interested in electrics and electric cars, wind turbines and the like, but from the age of being, say, 20 onwards, when I started serving time in Dublin, I used to see these electric vans going around delivering milk, and I says, it'd be a bit of progress, nice way to go. But looking at the vans, the actual batteries were too heavy, that the van had to be built around the batteries. Now, we came into a period then of the mobile phones, and we had big bricks of mobile phones. Then the batteries in the mobile phone got smaller and smaller and smaller. Thus the batteries you have in your existing mobile phone now is the technology. When I seen that, I said, right, now it's time to look at electric cars again. So with that, I went out to a local scrap dealer and I asked him, look, I'm looking for a small car, and he asked me, what do you want? And I said, well, I don't know yet today, because let me see what you got. So he pointed out the window and he showed me this little thing, and I said, yeah, it looks smart enough and the like, it looks light enough for my project as well. And he asked me what was it going to do, and I told him I was going to take out the electric or the petrol engine, which was 2000 cc petrol guzzler, and put in an electric motor. So he thought that was a great idea and the whole lot. So he wanted €500 for the whole lot complete, and he said he'd take the engine back for €200, so it left me with €300 for a body of a car. So with that, I decided, right, we'll make a move, and moved on from there. Then I located a man with done maintenance on forklift trucks and the like, and he used to maintain forklift trucks. And he says that he had an old motor of a hoist of forklift truck, and this motor was 50 years old, I should say. It was a ball of rust, as I say, on the ground. He said he didn't know whether it was working or what. There was no place under, no nothing. I said, look, I'll chance it. It looks good to me. You know, it has all the bits and pieces on it. There's nothing missing on it, as what I can see. So I brought it home. So with that, then I took out the gearbox out of the car, which contained the drives to the wheels, and then I started to make the old motor up to the gearbox. So the first thing I done was took the flywheel off the old petrol engine, flywheel and disc plate and disc house and the clutch generally, and mated it up basically to the motor. Bit of machining had to be done, spacing had to be done, have it the right spacing for the drives and clutch plate and all that. You know, a mechanic would know what I'm talking there. And I had to make a plate in order to do that, to get all them adjustments right. So that was all done, and it was very simple to align it, because I was able to connect a battery to the motor, and on the alignment between the gearbox and the whole lot and testing it, I was able to do that, which you couldn't do with a petrol engine unless you had it geared up on the floor. It's not simple. So all them problems were all covered and sorted out. No major problem at all. Then the whole thing then was the whole unit then, which was dropped into the front of this particular car, which is a Ford Puma. It's the same type of say internals as a Ford Fiesta, the small little Ford's car. So with this particular system that I have here, I could take it out and put it in a Ford Fiesta, or any of the small Ford models for that matter, because the internals and the mountings are all the same.
So you can convert any car that, if somebody comes along, they can give you a car, you can convert that for them.
Yeah, you can convert to any car. You know, there's no reason why you can't. Basically, as I just say to people when they look at this, now, you know, even to the authorities that know that car is a car with four wheels, but when it comes down to engines, it's either petrol, diesel, gas, or steam for that matter. But in my case, it's an electric engine.
Do you want to give us a look? Do you want to pop the bonnet and we'll have a look?
We'll have a go at that now.
Okay. Okay, Ronnie, tell us about the engine, what we have there.
Now, the engine that was in it previous was up across here. That's just the shape of the bonnet. It was a 2000cc engine. It was a hunk of metal, steel. So what I took out was the engine, and I left the gearbox. That bit there, from that to that is the gearbox. There's my motor. That's the motor there.
And that's a forklift
That's a
motor.
forklift truck motor. The motor is the same as what you have in your washing machine, your electric water pump. Motor is a motor, and that's what that is there. The only thing about that type of motor is it's a brush motor and a DC motor, which is old technology. Now, I went down this road because there was a possibility maybe it mightn't work. Now, I was confident that these things would work. There's no reason why they wouldn't work, but just I didn't want to be spending blobs of money doing it as a kind of, let's say it was a hobby in this case to do this particular one. And I'm a kind of a fella that I don't take no for an answer, and if there's a problem, I'll solve it. You see, so with that attitude, I don't go back, I just go on. Now, this now car was, at all times I have to remember that I'm putting the car on the road. There's plenty of cars like this that are in say, fields and things like that. Fellas put them together, but to have a car that's roadworthy and passed by all the various government authorities is a different kettle of fish. So with that, I had to be careful that I didn't alter or make any holes in the car that would change the design of Henry Ford's car.
So this is officially allowed legally to go on the road,
this is
to be used
on the road.
Okay.
Taxed, insured,
the whole lot.
FCT'd, I even got a DOE'd. I got every conceivable piece of paper, the government paper, signed up and signed off by other people, just to make sure that every door was closed behind me.
And this is powered by a battery bank, 24 batteries that you have in the car.
Modern day mobile phone battery technology.
Right, and they are 200 amp hours.
Yes.
Just so people know, 12 volt.
Yeah.
12 volt or 3 volt?
No, you see, the modern battery in your mobile phone is not like the old batteries. Even when you take out your little battery for your telephone, or not your telephone, your house phone or electric clock, it's a small little 1.5 volt cell. The new technology on this type of nickel iron batteries is 3.5 volts, let's say, just to round the figures. And it's rated at 200 amps. Now, a battery of that size before would be something about 2 foot square in order for it to be the same size. This battery is only 8 inches by 8 inches and 4 inches wide, and it's a power station. 200 amps of power is enough to weld. If you were to short it out or put a wire across it, it just burn the wire off it and weld.
And it is very light. I felt the weight of the battery, and I was amazed that it's 200 amp hours being so small.
Yeah, it's actually I lost the train of thought there. Yeah, it is a third of the weight and a third of the size of an equivalent lead acid battery that you have in your car, like your ordinary car.
Yeah.
Now, incidentally, going back to the battery situation, that battery there is the battery that was normally in the car. That has to stay in the car because of all the 12 volt electrics that's in the car, like the brake lights themselves and the whole lot. Now, the safety end of that is that supposing, let's say, if you run out of petrol, if I run out of battery, not that battery but the bigger batteries the back we look at, I have to be able to pull in off the side of the road and put on my hazard warning lights. I have to be able to do the same as well. Thus, this battery has to be here. We have to think of the health and safety first at all times. But that's needless to say, all the questions and all that paperwork all had to be signed off by the relevant authorities as well. Now, that took 14 months. Now, why it took 14 months was the fact that this was new to the government. This was, say, a fella out there doing his own thing, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be put on the road. It's the way we should be going. It's forward planning. It's the way to save the country.
Now, just sitting inside the car here. And we have all the electrics.
The newest addition now, which is only not 24 hours old yet, was the addition of a solar panel to assist with the charging of the batteries. That was brought on by the fact that we're after having such a huge amount of sun there so far. It says, look, sure, maybe we should be taking something from the sun. Now, today, okay, is a dull day, but we still have an output from the panels charging the batteries. So we can probably say now that it's a solar powered electric car, technically. Now on the far side there I have a couple of LEDs lit. Now it's still in the experimental process. There is no reason why that shouldn't work neither. It's been proven through other sources, let's say solar, you're putting solar panels in your houses now to charge, to run your television, mobile phones and whatever,
Which is what we're working on at the moment, yeah.
Yes, okay. But this one now is to assist, like I said, to charge the car.
Now tell us, Ronnie, if somebody came to you and they wanted to have their car converted to electric, how much would the cost be to have it done?
Well, put it this way, I've always said that a fella that was handy with his hands at all could actually do this himself with a bit of help. In other words, if you were to come to me and say, look, how do I do it? Well, first of all, I'd say to you, right, well, should we get a small little car, say something like what I have here, and so they take out the engine out of it. Say it's only a matter of bolting that. You can't go wrong, just hold bolt and drop it on the ground, and then say we'll get a motor and we'll show you how to put the motor together. Now, so what I can do is I can give you a package. I can organise a package of a motor, a controller for your accelerator, the battery pack, and all the bits and pieces wanted, which is not that much now. You'd put them, in a small package, and just go ahead and start putting them all together. Like if anybody that used the Meccano set, which I got a lot of training on when I was a young fella, or Lego as it was, came after that, there is no reason why you couldn't do it. It's confidence is all you want, and just the willpower.
Excellent.
Don't take no for an answer.
So what's the next stage for the electric car? What's your next plan?
Well, the next plan is, okay, now I'm satisfied this works and I'm happy with it. It does a good, I get a good distance from the car, from the battery charge.
What is the mileage on the car? How far would you get on a charge, full charge?
At the minute now I can get 50 miles or 80 kilometres. My maximum speed is 50 miles, 80 kilometres as well. Yeah. Mind you, the maximum speed limit is 80 kilometres. Now, the thing there is that I can, one of the secrets of the car is I charge my car in my garage at home in the house, in my plug, when I want to. I do not use the ones at the side of the road supplied by the ESB or SAAI, because I won't give reasons because, but they're not always convenient. And they're not there when I want them to be there, and they're not in the positions that I want them when I go somewhere. It's easier for me to go to a friend's house, let's say 10, 15 miles away, and plug into his house with an extension lead and be drawing off his electricity and visiting him for nothing.
Yeah, brilliant.
So you could say, right, will it get me to Dublin? It will get you to Dublin. But when you get to Dublin, say if you're working in Dublin, Dunn Stores, let's say, or a building site with most of our tradesmen are working on, you'll be able to get power on the building site to plug the car in, and it's ready for you that evening to come home again.
And the cost saving alone says everything, doesn't it?
Yes. Put it this way, I charge my car for €2 a night on the off-peak electricity. You see, double tariff meter, in other words, most people have it. Off-peak electricity, you run your machinery at night at a cheaper rate. So that's what I do. Set up the time switch, let's say that I charge the car between 12 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning for the cheap electricity, and that averages out every night at 11 kilowatts, and it's actually less than €2 a night.
That's fantastic.
To do 50 miles, and I just got along with it there, no problem at all.
Well, we'll be doing a show to go into more detail to the spec, but for now, Ronnie, thanks a lot for being available for us. I'll just take a picture of the car here again.
You're welcome, Alan. On the alignment between the gearbox and the whole lot and testing it, I was able to do that, which you couldn't do with a petrol engine unless you had it geared up on the floor. It's not simple. So all them problems are all covered and sorted out, no major problem at all. Then the whole thing then was the whole unit then was just dropped into the front of this particular car, which is a Ford Puma. It's the same type of say internals as a Ford Fiesta, the small little Ford's car. So with this particular system that I have here, I could take it out and put it in a Ford Fiesta or any of the small Ford models for that matter, because the internals and the mountings are all the same.
So you can convert any car that if somebody comes along, they can give you a car, you can convert that for them.
Yeah, you can convert to any car. You know, there's no reason why you can't. Basically, as I just say to people when they look at this, now, you know, even to the authorities that know is that car is a car with four wheels, but when it comes down to engines, it's either petrol, diesel, gas, or steam for that matter. But in my case, it's an electric engine.
Do you want to give us a look? Do you want to pop the bonnet and we'll have a look?
People that was the mobile phone now is the technology. When I seen that, I said, right, now it's time to look at electric cars again. So with that, I went out to a local scrap dealer and I asked him, look, I'm looking for a small car, and he asked me, what do you want? And I said, well, I don't know yet today, because let me see what you got. So he pointed out the window and he showed me this little thing, and I said, yeah, it looks smart enough and it looks light enough for my project as well. And he asked me what was it going to do, and I told him I was going to take out the electric or the petrol engine, which was 2000 cc petrol guzzler, and put in an electric motor. So he thought that was a great idea and the whole lot. So he wanted €500 for the whole lot complete, and he said he'd take the engine back for €200, so it left me with €300 for a body of a car. So with that, I decided, right, we'll make a move, and moved on from there. Then I located a man with done maintenance on forklift trucks and the like, and he used to maintain forklift trucks, and he says that he had an old motor of a hoist or forklift truck, and this motor was 50 years old, I should say. It was a ball of rust, as I say, on the ground. He said he didn't know whether it was working or what. There was no plates on it, no nothing. I said, look, I'll chance it. It looks good to me. You know, it has all the bits and pieces on it. There's nothing missing on it, as what I can see. So I brought it home. So with that, then I took out the gearbox out of the car, which contained the drives to the wheels, and then I started to make the old motor up to the gearbox. So the first thing I done was took the flywheel off the old petrol engine, flywheel and disc plate and disc house and the clutch generally, and mated it up basically to the motor. Bit of machining had to be done, spacing had to be done, have it the right spacing for the drives and clutch plate and all that. You know, a mechanic would know what I'm talking there. And I had to make a plate in order to do that, to get all them adjustments right. So that was all done, and it was very simple to align it because I was able to connect a battery to the motor. And
Okay, I'd like to introduce Ronnie McGrane, a well-known character in Kells, County Meath. Ronnie's just developed the electric car, and I've just been having a look at it earlier. Ronnie is the father of the famous golfer Damien McGrane. I'm sure people have heard of Damien. Ronnie, if you want to tell us a bit about the car, please go ahead. Tell us why you did it and how you put it together and how it works.
yeah. Okay, Alan, good morning to you there. Well, I've always been interested in electrics and electric cars, wind turbines and the like, but from the age of being say 20 onwards, when I started serving my time in Dublin, I used to see these electric vans going around delivering milk, and I says, you know, it'd be a bit of progress, nice way to go. But looking at the vans, the actual batteries were too heavy, that the van had to be built around the batteries. Now, we came into a period then of the mobile phones, and we had big bricks of mobile phones. Then the batteries in the mobile phone got smaller and smaller and smaller. Thus the batteries you have in your existing